One summer, me and my friend were getting on one of the kiddie rides. Something got me behind the back of the knee. I thought it was a leaf, grabbed it with my hand, like tossed it on the ground. Wasp's nest.
Oh,
Wasp's
a
nest.
nest? It wasn't even just a singular?
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of It Takes Two. I'm Emily.
And I'm Quinlan.
And today is another random day for you guys, okay?
It always is.
We're talking theme parks today. Disney, Universal, all of the above.
All of the above.
Stories, facts. It's time for me to shine my fun fact phase.
Fun fact for you. Emily knows some facts. Okay.
Yeah, and how are we gonna fit those fun facts in? We don't know, because they're really random, so we'll see.
We'll see if they could just slide right in there or not, so...
What's the first theme park you ever went to?
Oaks Park, I'm pretty sure, in Portland.
Okay.
I went there, I think, 4 years in a row for my birthday. I loved it. Going back now, stupidest theme park you've ever been to. It's so tiny. It takes about 5 minutes to get from one end to the other. I guess I haven't been to it within the last 4 years, 5 years. I've heard they put some new rides in, but in general, overall vibe, pretty boring.
How's it gonna compete with Disneyland?
No, it can't. I mean, it's not as populated. The lines don't take that long. They take about 3 minutes to wait in line, but...
that's a good point, but if the rides aren't matching, what's the point?
Yeah, no. If there's not a theme, there's not a theme. It's just boring.
It's park. No theme park, it's park.
It's just park vibes. Park-themed theme park. Yeah, that's what it is.
I love that for you.
Also, I think the most recent time I've been there was actually our freshman year of college. They did a Bruin Adventure Night or whatever, the first couple nights or something, and I went and had a terrible time.
That was the day they separated us too.
I was so lonely. I didn't know anybody. It was literally our first week of college, and so here I am just baby freshman, don't know what the heck I'm doing. And so I barely rode any rides because I was so nervous and scared of everybody. So there's that.
Yeah, they made us go with our class, certain classes, and I was like, I don't want to hang out with these people.
No, literally, it was so weird.
It was my 8 a.m. class. I was like, I don't want to hang out with these people.
No, it was so weird. And so, yeah, I had a terrible time. But all the other memories of that place are pretty great, so...
Well, that's what matters, so...
Yeah, I have another funny place story. I know this is totally, it just popped into my head, though. Have you ever... those... Okay, did your school, I'm assuming, didn't do, child development, sex ed type of classes?
No.
So I had a child development class where you got to take care of a baby. Okay? A robot baby.
Ew.
And it cried, and it, you had to feed it, and it would cry all hours of the night.
A real TV high school moment.
Yeah, and you had this little bracelet that you had to, chime to it to, signify that it was you taking care of this baby, and it was, something you couldn't cut off.
I didn't know those were real.
So you had to chime the bracelet to the baby. So, say my mom couldn't help me take care of the baby.
Yeah.
It had to be me because the baby wouldn't fix whatever you needed fixed unless it was you chiming onto the baby. Whatever.
Okay.
Flash forward to my weekend. So you just had it a weekend. A couple days. We were going to Oaks Park. And everybody was going. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with this stupid baby?
Literally, what?
I want to ride rides. I'm a freshman in high school at this point.
Yeah.
I was I want to ride rides with everybody else. I'm not going to miss my turn to go on this ride because this stupid baby is crying. Okay? And you would fail if you didn't take care with it within so many cries or whatnot. So I lubed up my wrist and I slipped the bracelet off and I gave it to Lila's grandma. And Lila's grandma took care of my baby the entire time.
That's iconic.
She's just walking around with the robot baby the whole time. Um, yeah, it was quite the sight. People kept thinking I had a real baby, but it was a fake baby, and I took it to the theme park.
That's the most main character moment, like, ever.
No, it was 100% real. I'll literally find pictures of it because some people wanted to do it like multiple weekends in a row, and I was like,
Ew,
that's
why?
weird. Like, we're 14 years old. I don't want to be taking care of a baby.
Literally, what?
I want to go ride some Oaks Park rides, okay, and go roller skating. I don't want to take care of a baby.
Okay, what was the first, like, major theme park you went to then?
Um, Disneyland. I went to Disneyland in fourth grade, fifth grade, one of those years. We went to Universal, Disneyland, California Adventure, all of this like the same week or whatever
You
that we
did
took
them
off.
all together?
Yeah,
That's a wild experience.
yeah. My mom's like, we're taking 1 week off and 1 week only. Boom, all of them.
Every single one.
Yeah, that's what it was. How about you? What was your first or major or whatever?
First is probably Disneyland. I say probably because
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember when I started going to Disney because when I was little, my aunt had a friend that worked at the parks.
Okay.
So we every time we'd come visit her, we'd get in for free. So it was like I was little and like somebody
Getting
would
to get
wait
in.
and like
Okay.
take care of me and then like other people would ride rides.
So you
So,
were tiny. You passed the Emily around.
yes, we went progressively until I was like 12 cuz the last time I remember being there was on my 13th birthday other than
Okay.
last year I went for the first time since then. My 13th birthday was a very interesting one to spend at Disneyland
Okay.
because obviously as an October baby, that means Halloween's going on, which means Disney has
Oh.
trick-or-treating,
Oh. Oh snap. That sounds cool.
which okay, you know me quite well. I'm
Yeah.
not normally like princess costume, right?
Yeah.
Had to be the one year I decided, let's wear a hoop skirt. Let's wear
uh,
a hoop skirt at Disneyland where all of the roller coasters are open and you're gonna have to figure out how to ride them.
how to get in there in your hoop skirt? No.
Let's just say that dress didn't last very long, and really glad my mom made me wear a sweater and leggings under it.
Oh, that's a classic mom move right there.
Yeah,
Definitely have to wear the undershirt and the the underpants, like the leggings, because
yeah.
total mom move.
Well, it was also freezing too, even though it was like California. You still got the coastal winds. I was
Yeah,
like, chilly.
yeah, especially so young too. Yeah, that's crazy. I so when we went for my first time,
Hmm.
and like the first time I remember, obviously, because I mean I was what are you 9, right around there, right?
Yeah,
10.
yeah.
I was 10. Kenna was 8. Everyone else was cold but me. I just naturally run like warmer
You
than
do.
everybody else. So I have no problem. Like I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt the entire time where like my mom and Kenna are wearing jeans and a jacket the whole time. And I distinctively remember we were at Universal Studios, okay? And we're riding on the Mummy ride. Like the OG Mummy, okay? And I started crying halfway through the ride because something tickled me and I didn't know what.
Hmm.
And I asked my dad and my mom because like they were like on my sides or whatever, and I was like, "What was that?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "That thing that just got my feet. What got it? Like what happened?" And they're like, "Quinlan, nothing is down there." And I was like, "So you're telling me something's actually down there and it's not part of the ride because you didn't feel it?" And they're like, "Yes." And I was like, I had a panic attack. I was freaking out. I was bawling. I was like, there's something getting me and I can't look. Like, what's down there? When we get off the ride, I looked under my seat and there's little spiders that come out and tickle you.
Yep.
But because I was the only one in shorts, nobody else felt it.
I was warned of that the first time I rode it, so I purposely picked my legs up like the entire ride so I couldn't feeling.
Yeah, and it just got you like right on the calf. Like, so since I was wearing shorts, it just got me right on the calf, and I
It's like a
freaked.
light tickle.
Yeah, and I freaked out because it was so light. Like, I just thought something was actually getting me. I didn't really think anything of it. And again, I've only
Yeah.
up until this point, I've only ever been to Oaks Park where they just have really crappy, really bad rides. So like, no,
What is theming?
there's no theme or anything. It's just duh, duh, duh the whole time. You know, like that's all the roller coasters are at
Yeah.
Oaks Park, and not like rides like these are. And so I just freaked out because I did not understand what was getting me. Ugh, terrified.
That reminds me so much of how I found out I was allergic to bees.
Oh,
Um, so basically, you guys have Family Fun Center, right?
hmm, Family Fun Center, like
Like,
Bullwinkles.
yeah, they changed the name to Family Fun Center, but it was
Okay,
always
it was
Bullwinkles.
Bullwinkles. Okay, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking. Okay,
a very Northwest specific fun park. It's not really a theme park, it's a fun
there's
park.
just a bunch of random stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but back in the day, they used to have a little kiddie zone right by the golf course.
Okay.
One summer, me and my friend were getting on one of the kiddie rides. Something got me behind the back of the knee. I thought it was a leaf, grabbed it with my hand, like tossed it on the ground. Wasp's nest.
Oh,
Wasp's
a
nest.
nest. It wasn't even just a singular.
I got stung about 18 times behind my knee
No way.
and 12 times in the hand.
Oh my god. Yo.
That's how I found out I was allergic.
No, I would sue him.
All they did was give me an ice cream sandwich.
Are you kidding? A
And then my
full
mom took me to the
refund.
hospital.
Full refund. Who was doing your maintenance on your kiddie rides over here? Like,
Literally, who let there be a wasp's nest under a kiddie ride?
yeah, that no.
No.
Lawsuit. Get that bag. Ugh.
I think there's a reason there's no longer a kiddie zone there.
Yeah, for sure. That's terrifying.
Yep. Yep, I had to go to the hospital. Just so much, so much. So fun.
Okay, so Bullwinkle's Family Fun Center. I don't remember the first time I went there, but I do distinctively remember one time that I went there. It was with my basketball team, okay, in like
Mm-hmm.
ninth grade, 10th grade. Oh, it had to have been 10th grade. Okay. Freshly got my license. Okay.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh, my mom's like, you're gonna have to drive yourself to Bullwinkles for your party. I can't make it. And I was like, no problem. I got my license now. Granted, this where I lived and where the Bullwinkles was about an hour away.
That's a long way for a
For like
fresh licensed
1 month
driver.
licensed driver.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mom, can I take so and so with me? They don't have a ride. Granted, you're not allowed to have anybody in the car besides your siblings or your family or whatever for the
Not for at least six months.
months. And my mom was like, I don't care, just one person. And I was like, okay. And then I have to ask her again. I'm like, so and so doesn't have a ride. Can they ride? And she's like,
Oh no.
okay, 2 people, and that is it. So I just give my 2 friends a ride and me, and we go up there. On the way home, now somebody doesn't have a ride, and so there's 3 of us. And I was like, my mom is not gonna let this fly. I was like, let's just get in the car and go. And oh, it was so scary. I thought she was gonna catch us somehow. But there was, I think, 3 friends now. Yeah, 3 or 4. I don't think we packed the car, so I think it had to have just been.
There was at least one open seat.
Yeah, I think there was one open seat, but we don't know for sure. Yeah. So that was a far drive too, and like I was exhausted after that because we like partied all night, you know?
Yeah.
Laser tag, go-karts, the bumper boats they have there, the
Yes.
arcade, they got like literally everything there. And I was exhausted, and then I had to drive all of us an hour and something home, and I'd drive each person to their house in different parts of town, you know? Ugh,
Yeah.
it was exhausting.
How do we take it back to theme parks from Bullwinkles?
Speaking of going back,
Oh?
we're going to Universal Studios very soon. And
Yes.
I have not been since I was 16? No, 17?
I think about the same for me. I have pictures on my phone of me and my dad going, but
Yeah, so I'm thinking it was like 16, 17, around there. So, what is that? 6 years? 6 or 7
we're almost
years?
mid-20s.
Ah, that's so scary.
I don't want to be mid.
I know. So yeah, we are going to Universal Studios soon, and they have changed a lot. I was doing some research today about the
Really?
like stuff that they've added since I've been, like the new Mario Land,
Is
and
that actually open?
from what I see, yes. But
That was under construction when I was there last time.
you have to buy a specific pass or reserve your time to go in. And so we'll have to talk about that later because that's a whole thing. Uh, but they've made changes to like the Jurassic Park or the Jurassic Park ride because now they did like Jurassic World included into that whole
That's
thing.
so sad to me. I mean, it needed like updates,
Yeah.
but like that was one of the big things in like my parents' relationship
Uh huh.
was like going to
On
the Jurassic ride and stuff.
Yeah, I have a funny story about the Jurassic Park ride. Okay. When I went there, when I was 16, 17, whatever we're saying, I don't know. Went with my family. So it was like my brother, my sister, my parents, and my couple of my cousins, and my little cousin. He was like, "Let's go on the ride." And I was like, "Okay, let's do it." That's all he wanted to ride. After we rode it once, he was like, "Let's do it again." And I was like, "You're 8. Like, if this is what you want to ride, let's ride this 100 times. Fine." We get off the ride after who knows how many times we've been on it, and he looks dead in my eyes and he says, "Half your eyebrows missing. What happened?" And I was like, "You know what? Maybe if we had rode the Jurassic Park ride 16 times, I'd have both my eyebrows on right now." I was like, "That was savage, kid." Like, he straight up came for me, and I was like, "You're the reason my eyebrow is missing." Because after all that water, like, one of them just like wiped away, and he was so like, "Your eyebrow's missing." And I was like, "Shut up!" Like, you're only 8, okay? Leave me alone. I can't be mean to you.
So here's the problem with me though in Universal. I really hate dark rides and animatronics.
So that's like the whole
And
thing. I feel like every ride is either dark half the time or full of animatronics.
so I've never actually seen the dino pop out on Jurassic World because I'm too scared to look at it. So I'm just like,
You just crouch down, cover your head.
yeah, I'm that person.
I I am a huge ride person. Like, I hated them when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so scared of them. And then one day it just like clicked and I was just perfectly fine.
Interesting.
It was my Washington DC trip. I would like to say that that's probably what made it click after I had some like independence, you know? We went
I like that that's just part of our lore now. Like,
Washington DC. Um we went to Busch Gardens, which is like a
okay.
big theme park, I guess, over
Yeah.
there. East Coast? I don't know. They have multiple locations. I don't really know. When I went there, it was like a huge theme park. It was
Mm-hmm.
huge, okay? And I stuck my school paired up with another school, and so
Yeah.
one of the other teachers, he was like a really big ride person, and so he mapped out his like whole path on which rides he was going to ride first and all of that. And so I was like, I'm sticking with this guy. He knows what's up. I'm not getting lost, okay? Because I was
Yeah.
terrified. And I was like, well, I'm here. I have to ride the rides because no, wait.
Oh,
Because we were
oh.
talking about my Washington Monument story and how I was terrified, and my mom was like, don't
Yeah.
miss any other opportunities because you're scared. So that was like in the brain. We went to the Busch Gardens, and I was like, she
I
said,
have to do it.
don't be scared. So I couldn't be scared. I had to go on all of these rides, okay? And I did. And then after that, I have literally never said no to a roller coaster. Like, no matter what it was, I was like, let's do it.
That's why I like Disney, because they're all like rides versus like I feel like Universal is like a lot of simulations.
See, and I really like those. I think they're so cool.
It really feels to me, you know, when you would go to a mall and they had that little like roller coaster thing you'd sit in,
You lay
and it
on
would
and
like
they'd like do the whole. Yeah.
that's all that is to me, and I'm like, why did I come here for this?
No, see, I absolutely love it. And I'm super excited because Pacey's never been, so he's gonna get to experience all of these. And so I'm worried though because he gets motion sickness over the most random things.
My favorite thing though about Universal is definitely Waterworld.
Oh yeah, the shows are just fantastic. Like Waterworld, phenomenal.
I think I made my dad see Waterworld 6 times while we were there one day.
Just
I
every single showing.
Yes, and then because I loved that show so much, this was
Uh-huh.
probably what, like 2014, I want to say.
Yeah.
So Amazon wasn't as good as it is now, right? We found a DVD copy of Waterworld so I could see the movie after because I loved the
After
like thing so much.
that is so funny. I love it. And I love just the people that come out and splash the crap out of the most randomest people and
Yes.
like those types of things. It cracks me up. It is so funny.
It's sad though because like those are the best parts of that movie because that movie is so long
Yeah.
and every good part is in the show.
Every good part. They skip all the boring stuff. They're like right down into it.
Because it's really just takes place on that little floating city
Yeah.
or like a plank of wood. That's like it.
The whole movie.
Yeah.
I love seeing the characters. I think it's so funny, even though like obviously they're not characters. I think I've seen Shaggy and Scooby every time we go there, and I get so excited because they
I
crack
don't
me
think I've
up.
ever seen them.
Oh my gosh, I freaking love seeing Shaggy and Scooby. Um, Shrek, the little donkey, like of the cart that like donkey's
Yes.
head sticks on him. Love it.
Yes.
See, they got all my favorite stuff there. Scooby Doo, Shrek. How could you not love it?
I'm just happy there's a Starbucks in both parks. So
No, literally, I'm super stoked, super ready. Um, I think in the Heights episode, our fears episode, I already talked about how terrified I was of the whatever Hollywood Tower of Terror. Did I talk about that?
no, you didn't.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Hollywood Tower of Terror. I talked about it recently, so I thought maybe it was the episode, but I guess not.
I don't
So
think you know what? I think you brought it up in an episode. I don't think it was that one.
okay, well, anyways,
Or me? No.
well, I'll talk about it. If you didn't see the episode and it wasn't it, or if it wasn't and we're crazy, who knows?
We
Um,
can't remember even if it was in an episode or what episode we made them. So
so we can't expect you to
eh.
remember anyway. Basically, first time was at Disneyland or California Adventure. I was with my parents and my sister, and they were like, "We're going on Hollywood Tower of Terror. We're here. Like, let's do it." And I was like, "No, I'm afraid of heights. I'm not doing it." And they're like, "You are because you're 8 years old or you're 10 years old, and we're not leaving you at the bottom of the ride by yourself, and we want to ride it." And I was like, "Well, I don't want to ride it." And they were like, "You have to. We're riding it." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm not going to be happy." And then literally before we even get on the ride, I start crying. Like once we start getting up to the like where you're about to get on, I start bawling because I'm scared. I don't like heights, and I saw
Yeah,
people doing it, and I was like, "No, not for me."
absolutely not.
And so we get on the ride, and they take your picture, and we look at the picture. Okay, so I cried the whole ride, obviously. Like, what do you expect? Like, I was terrified. So we get off, and there's a picture that they take of you when they like open it up. And in the picture, we have my sister, happy as can be. Okay? She's at one end. Then we've got my dad pointing down the road laughing at me because I'm at the other end, holding my mom's arm, screaming and crying.
Oh
And my mom is trying to comfort me, but she's also like in the middle of a ride. And so I screamed the entire time. I was so scared, and so I bawled the whole time because, and just now there's a picture of my dad literally looking down like the row of seats, laughing at me. And then my little sister, okay, she's 8, okay, because I was 10, she's 8, and she's just having the time of her life, and I'm sitting there just bawling the whole time. And then we went again. Okay, wait.
Oh.
Flash forward a few years, we go with Timmy. Timmy's 8. He goes and he's just fine. And I went because I was like, now I know how to ride rides. Like, I'll be okay. And I was fine. I had fun, but I had to redeem myself. But then I watched another 8-year-old successfully ride this ride without crying. And I was like, well,
I think you should have recreated that picture.
I was like,
Just,
couldn't be
I
me.
gotta say.
Yeah, couldn't be me. At 10 years old, bawling my head off on that ride.
I'm actually mad. I never got to ride it.
Really? Never?
Yeah. Never. Okay, because I was too small first.
Yeah.
And then we went, and my mom was like, let your dad ride it first, okay? Because you're tiny. And my dad is terrified of heights. So he was like, that was the scariest thing ever. And then my mom was like, no, I don't think you should ride it. And I was like, but I love it. I love things that like shoot you in the air and like bounce.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna deny that, Mom, but you did, I swear. I'm still mad.
That's such a, I mean, that is so freaking cool though. Like, your dad rides the ride first by himself to see if you can ride it. I love that.
And that's the only time that's ever happened. And he was like terrified. He was like, because my dad's terrified of heights.
Yeah.
So he was like, the whole time, I was just like holding on to the seats.
That is so funny because my parents were just like, you get on it, we're going on it. I was like, okay.
But like, I gotta ride the roller coaster that just 0 to 60 in 4 seconds.
Oh yeah, no, there's some crazy ones, but that is so funny.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. Oh, that's fantastic. I love it. Yes, super stoked, super excited for our trip, guys. We're gonna attempt to be real YouTubers, okay? We'll see how it goes.
We'll try our best.
We'll try our best.
We should just make Pacey record us while we're talking little bits.
Yeah. And so we'll try our best. Hopefully there'll be a couple pictures. I mean, last time I went to LA and saw Emily, I took a total of 4 pictures the entire time I was there. So
if nothing else, we should at least make a short of us going.
So
we're gonna really try to be YouTubers, guys, but we're bad at that.
We're terrible. So we're gonna try our hardest.
We don't even script this content. How do you expect us to vlog a whole trip?
Yeah, no, that sounds nearly impossible.
Well, stay tuned for our vlog, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace out, Cub Scout.